Hey, good evening, everybody.
Hello.
It's Brad.
And I'm Christa.
Big Family Homestead.
Yay!
You know the drill. There's explosions and there's all kinds of craziness.
Yes.
We're gonna bring the heat, people. The heat.
Thankfully, the heat is staying down south.
Oh my gracious! And for you folks in the UK, we're feeling for you. Honestly. We have got some great good news stories this week. 8 really cool stories. A few that I couldn't finish up last week because I was coughing my brains out.
Yes. Yeah.
So I apologize for that.
But you're better now.
Better-ish.
Well, yeah, better-ish. But you're not coughing like you were last week, which is
maybe.
Yes.
We've got a big announcement on a meetup.
Yes.
That we're going to meet up with you.
Yes.
Hopefully in person, not just virtually.
No.
But we've got some great stories coming, and what we do, if you're new here, is we kind of just hang out, tell you how our week is going. We talk with people, chat, basically while we're waiting for everybody to get here.
Yep.
And then once everybody's here, we unleash the good news, the kraken of good news, right? So with that said, why don't you tell them this? This is one thing that's been big that happened this week.
This past Monday, we started school. Actually, I'll be honest with you. Hope, she's not our oldest. We have 2 seniors in high school this year.
Yes.
And she's one of those seniors. And, well, you guys know Hope. She was the catalyst for us getting school started this year, or so early. Normally we don't start until after Labor Day, but she
wanted to.
Chomping at the bit, wanting to get back into some sort of routine. And so she said, Mom, can we please start school soon? So
can you believe that?
I was so glad that I had already had all of our curriculum already set. I just needed to get things organized, and it didn't take very long to actually do that. So, and there was only a couple of things that needed to get, like spiral notebooks and, planners and things like that.
I'm sorry. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I just was reading earlier, John Zempel. He's back with the channel. Thank you, John.
Welcome back.
Hope you like the new content, and hope you like this new format of the good news stories.
Yep.
Because I'm sick of the bad news stories. There's plenty of that. We don't need bad news.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's intoxicating to just sit and wallow in it, but get rid of it. You'll be happier. Get rid of it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So another thing that's going on is our cow, Clover. She has been impregnated, we hope.
We hope. She is our heifer. That is, okay, so a heifer is a cow that has never had a baby before. So she is old enough to now be bred, and hopefully it has taken, because she is a wild cow, let me tell you.
So a cow that has never been bred, does that
never had a baby.
Does that qualify me as that? I did it so that she would do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Family
How many of you guys are heifers out
friendly.
there?
Oh, dear gosh.
I'm a heifer. She's a heifer. We're a heifer. Wouldn't you like to be a heifer too? No? You're giving me nothing? Come on, Smalls. You're killing me.
Trying to keep it together, honey.
Nobody? Heifer.
Trying to keep it together.
All righty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have 2 people from Australia watching.
All right.
Tina and Sandra. That's awesome. I'm so glad.
And let me tell you, here's a little secret. Anytime the topic of Australia comes up, I think it's stereotypical that all Americans want to start speaking in bad accents of Australia.
Bad.
It's and I'm trying my hardest to push back right now. I want you to know we're grateful that you're here. I'm a heifer and proud of it, says Phoebe.
That's awesome.
Okay, so while we're waiting for the good news to roll in here, Jonathan and Jessica got home safely.
Yes,
that was nice.
Yeah,
there was only 2 breakdowns on the way back to Tennessee.
Jonathan in that truck, man, I got to tell you, that truck needs to be put out to pasture. Let's just say
That
'cause-
heifer,
Holy smokes!
so, so yeah, they are notorious for breaking down. Yeah, they hadn't even gotten out of Wisconsin, and then it was overheating, and there was something wrong with the heater core, and then his exhaust fell off. Just fell off.
Yeah.
What's up, Ryan? Thank you, my brother.
Delicious treats.
Bovine, Bovalicious.
Oh boy!
We will
I'm
use that $2 towards the next AI for the next cow.
Right. So I'm really hoping that this takes, because this animal,
She's frisky.
she's just a frisky cow, and when she's in heat, holy cow, just look out,
Yeah.
because she will. When cows are in heat,
They get frisky.
they get frisky and they mount everything, including you if you're just happen to be in the area. I think I've gotten mounted 3 or 4 times since we've had cows.
You gotta be careful with that kind of language,
I
Mom.
know. It sounds terrible. It really does.
Cows mounting me.
It's quite embarrassing.
She's going crazy. And okay, to clarify for those of you who don't know what this might mean, they'll literally jump up like a
Yes.
dog. Like they'll jump up.
They'll jump on your back, and
Yeah.
it's quite painful.
Yeah.
The first time it ever happened, I thought I was gonna die because she knocked me to the ground. I seriously thought I was gonna die.
And the weird thing is, it's the females that are doing the
Yeah.
mounting.
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with you?
I'm gonna mount you like a painting on the wall. This is all you. Yeah, Ryan DeLongchamps has been there.
What?
We all know the feeling, don't you? I mean, honestly, right? Everybody knows what it's like when your cows just start jumping on you.
Okay, we gotta move on.
Move on. You guys need to. You guys are slacking. Where are all the cow jokes? This is the perfect time for cow jokes. Come on, people.
Yes, she did.
What?
Wait, she mounted you?
Yes, Robert. and
Oh my goodness.
oh my gosh. Hey there, Hermit. Okay, so. No, don't even say it. I see what you're looking at.
I'm not.
Don't say it. We'll get banned. Anyway,
Phoebe.
if you guys could quickly hit the like button, what happens is it triggers, and not in a bad way. It triggers the YouTube algorithm to send out more notifications. So, yeah. Anyway, so hit that like button.
Sorry, it's a
other
good
stuff.
thing I didn't take a drink of water before I heard that comment, because
Yeah.
I almost spit all
Gotta
over your
move
mug.
faster. Yeah. Don't spit on the mug, please. You can spit on me first.
Yeah,
I'd be happier with that.
is utterly frightening.
That's good. See, now we're getting there. Come on now. Should have moved over. Mhm.
Yeah, I wish I had known it was coming. Never knew that was a thing. So
Usually they take you to dinner first. Anyway, what? Just saying. Okay. So Grace, our daughter Grace, has been working. She's been working in a ministry locally, which has been awesome.
Yes.
She's been volunteering in the arts and crafts department of this particular ministry. Whoa.
Just
Comments?
yeah. Yes, so she's helping in this particular ministry in the craft area, and it's been amazing.
Well, they love
honestly.
her.
They love her. Oh, who doesn't love Grace? I mean, she is just the sweetest kid ever.
Grace is definitely something extremely special.
Yeah, she really is. So she's been having a blast meeting new people and hanging out with the families that are there, and just loving it. So, and this particular ministry has a little farm.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so every day she goes and visits the animals at the farm, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So that's been going on.
Yep.
Also, I did a video shoot this week, which that was really fun because a lot of my work is video production, audio production, but it's not recently been actually going out and shooting. It's all been post-production or creating things here in the studio. And let me tell you what, a live shoot was just a lot of fun again, and I'm definitely going to be up in that game.
Been a while.
In the media
Been
world.
a while, yeah.
Well, I've done a little bit, but not a ton since we moved to Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
because I thought there was not a lot of work to be had when it comes to actual video shoot here in Wisconsin, just because we're in the Northwoods.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, there are plenty of businesses that need things done, and I'm going to knock on their doors and say, hey, I can do this for you.
That's right. I can do this.
I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
So that, let's see what else. Oh, I think it's about time to tell everybody what you've learned this week. That's right. Just hold on. Take a deep breath. You got this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the evening where you share what you've learned this week. What have you learned, Ryan DeLongchamp? What have you learned, Debbie Rivera? Sorry about that. What have you learned, Steve Goodink? What's up, brother? Type. What have you guys learned? And if we see something really cool, we'll mention it. You will get cool points and kudos among your peers.
Yep.
So, what have you learned this week, Mother?
There's definitely not enough hours in the day to get everything done.
Wow.
Just saying.
Just saying?
Just saying. Because that makes it all okay. You know, if you're just saying.
When you say just saying, that gives you like permission
gives you a pass,
to be as
right?
insulting as you want.
Right. But I'm not actually being insulting. I'm just saying there's just saying.
I'm just saying.
There's not enough hours in the day to get enough sleep, I should say, to get enough sleep and to get everything done. So.
Yeah, you could say to me like, gosh, you look like crap.
Just saying.
Just saying. And I would have to go,
oh, okay.
Just saying. You
Yeah,
get a pass.
I don't do that.
Music is hard, says Ryan DeLongchamp. Not for guys like you, though. Oh, my. I was listening to Mr. Skizik's Dilemma earlier today, thinking of you. Okay, so what did I learn? I learned that, doggone it, I need help learning how to grade my driveway. She's laughing because this is an internal struggle that is real. The struggle is real, people. We got a long driveway, probably about 1,000 feet of driveway, right?
Yeah.
And it's gravel and dirt. So I have a box blade on my tractor, and that's specifically designed for smoothing that out. But somehow, every time I used it, I managed to make potholes that look like they've been World War II bomber style bombed by airplanes, like in, trying to keep the planes from launching and flying away. Because, to me, it looks like, oh, this is great. Look, hey, this looks really, really great. And then it'll rain one time, and then it's like,
bad.
Oh my gosh, I should have just left it alone. And she knows because I'm getting so frustrated with it.
And that's why I'm not laughing at his.
No, you're laughing at my internal emotional struggle.
Just
it's
laughing
worse.
at you.
You're straight up laughing at my struggle.
No.
This is what it's like to
sorry,
be married
honey.
so long, folks. This is how it is.
I'm sorry, honey.
How many years? 4, 7, or
it's a
something
prison
like that?
sentence.
It is a prison sentence. How many years do you get if you accidentally manslaughter on somebody?
I don't know. Not this long.
We're way past that, huh? Tina Johnson has a good one. I've been reminded that God can use you in times, places you don't expect. Amen, Tina.
Amen.
You just need to be available and listen for his promptings. Example, you should call your sister. I think that's great advice. I agree, and well put. So, well, let's see. Is anybody else? I learned that our flight home last Wednesday would probably be our last. We're driving next time.
Oh gosh.
And he's talking about cross country. That's the bulletproof pastor.
Yeah. Yeah. That's oof.
Robert learned how to make pickles. That's cool.
Awesome.
What about you there? You got a few comments? Grab a few.
Oh, Debbie is learning how to make leather breeches. Is that for a donkey or for actually pants? Because I know what is it breeches or breeches? I think I thought it was breeches for a donkey for the saddle, to hold the saddle. But I don't know. I need to learn how to. Well, Hope is wanting to learn how to make those for the dog for puzzle.
You know what? Something also that I'd like to give kudos to is Steve.
Steve.
Mr. Edwards.
I was gonna say which one. We know lots.
Okay, there is an expert in donkey and mule training. He's got literally hundreds of videos on YouTube. Is it Steve Edwards?
Nope. It is Queen Valley Mule Ranch.
That's his name, though.
His name is Steve Edwards.
That's
yes.
why I got it wrong.
Right.
Okay.
But his YouTube channel is Queen Valley Mule Ranch.
Yeah, I reached out to him just to kind of make a connection because Hope's been trying to train this donkey puzzle.
Yep.
And she's been having a hard time. And he was so kind to call us on the phone and spent a good half hour just answering questions and telling her this is what you need to do. And he had even taken time to come and look at some of our videos to make sure that what he wanted to see what Hope was doing. And he quoted a few of the videos.
He watched our videos and saw what she was doing with some of the animals. And well, with the donkey and the horse. And he said she has absolutely amazing natural ability. Yeah. And, you know, he's like, she's always watching out of one eye what the animal is doing, which is great. So he gave her some really helpful tips. We ordered a rope halter and a come along rope and some instructional videos. And as an awesome gift, he sent a second rope halter and come along rope. Just as an amazing gift. And so we are super grateful that Steve over at Queen Valley Mule Ranch did that for her. So she's got a rope halter now for both puzzle and whiskey.
So if you need instruction and training, that's the place to go.
Yeah, he is wicked smart. He's been a cowboy his whole life. Yeah. And he's literally been everywhere. And
I've been everywhere,
exactly. Man. But the way he works with his animals is amazing. So
all right, ladies and gentlemen, so here it is. You've been waiting with bated breath, I'm sure. We're gonna have a meetup. We are
didn't click out existing.
Is that working now? Ah, sorry guys.
Sorry about that. We can start that over.
I threw this slide together last second.
Yeah,
so
to add the audio.
Well, let's start over.
Okay, so go ahead.
We're not hosting this event.
Nope.
Old Glory Farm, who's on, is hosting the event, and that's going to be awesome. So
Yes.
we're going to be food. We're speaking.
We're
hanging out.
gonna speak. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna have food. There's gonna be games for the kids, and it's going to be in Wapaka, but the location is to be determined. Old Glory Farm, if you could put up the email, I don't have it with me.
And please do it more than once.
Yeah, put your email up so that they can email you. Excuse me. Of course, she's not a moderator. She probably can't put her email up.
We're gonna figure that out.
Yeah. So it's gonna be loads of fun, and there's gonna be a few other YouTube channels there. I don't know who yet, but we're just gonna hang out, chat, and do some speaking.
Food.
There's gonna be vendors, that kind of thing. And yes, I'm sorry, it is in Wisconsin. So it's in Wapaka, Wisconsin, which is south central Wisconsin.
Okay, Old Glory Farm, you are now a moderator,
Yes.
so you can add your
Link,
your
email.
Your email.
Mhm.
So if you can put your email so people can contact you.
Right,
So go ahead and check that out.
right.
And we're gonna be there. Have fun. It's gonna be awesome. Maybe you haven't. I don't know. Horseshoes.
But the request is that you bring a dish to share. That was the only request. So yeah.
Yeah. Hope to see a lot of you.
Yeah.
That'd be great. All right. It is time. Boom. Good news. Ahoy.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the bad news. Miss Paul Harvey. He is the inspiration for these good news stories. Some are his and some are not. Some have been suggested. As a matter of fact, a couple of them today have been suggested from you guys. So if you see something, a good news story, and you're like, wow, this I'd like to share this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes I have enough and don't need any more, but sometimes I really could use the help.
Right.
So send it to info.bigfamilyhomestead@gmail.com.
Yep.
So here we go.
Let's get started.
Good news. Bring it on.
Growing up as an only child, 99-year-old Peggy Kohler always wished for a big family. Now she is celebrating her 100th great-grandchild.
What?
Right? Peggy, who is of Montgomery, Pennsylvania, came close to not having a large family she desired, as she had applied to become a nun during high school.
There's a turn of events.
Yeah, no kidding. I actually applied when I was a junior in high school, she told the news channel. However, William, her future husband, talked her out of it, and they eventually got married. Together, they had 11 children, and then welcomed a whopping, get this, 56 grandchildren.
Boom.
That's amazing. Peggy's descendants consist of a wide range of professions, including lawyers, teachers, real estate developers, and even one son who runs the Kohler Funeral Home, which is the family business. Recently, Peggy got to meet Kohler William Balster, her 100th great-grandchild,
Nice.
named after her last name and her late husband. First thing, out of the hospital, we went to Grandmom's. Introduced her to Kohler. She was absolutely ecstatic, said Kohler's mother, Chrissy Balster. Peggy not only got to celebrate her 100th great-grandchild, but also her 101st, as Chrissy's cousin also welcomed a new baby. WPVI noted that both babies are happy and healthy. According... got a frog in my throat.
I do think there might be a cough drop over there.
Okay. According to Chrissy and her husband Patrick, faith and family are the two secrets that have contributed to Peggy's longevity. They also added that Peggy works out twice a day.
Huh.
Peggy's large family is a wish that she's always wanted and now is blessed to have. I wanted to have a big family. I think it's difficult being an only child. It's lonely, Peggy said.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome indeed.
101 grandchildren.
Wow.
I can't even believe that.
Well, and maybe we might have to get a Culver's burger to her because I don't think she's coming here.
No, she's not coming here.
She's not coming
No.
here. All right, this is a story that's really cool. This kid, he's on the verge of doing something just flat out. Oh, he's already done something amazing, but wow. This kid right here, a 16-year-old British boy is nearing the final leg of his 5-month adventure to become the youngest person to fly around the world solo.
What? Are you kidding?
16.
Wow.
Mac Rutherford set off on the daredevil mission from an air base in Sofia, Bulgaria in March, and if successful, will become the youngest person to circumnavigate the world solo in an aircraft. He would clinch the Guinness World Record, currently held by a fellow Brit, Travis Ludlow, who was 18 when he completed the mission last year. His sister, Zara Rutherford, 19, became the youngest woman to fly around the world solo. After a period in New York, he set off from JFK Airport 2 days hence and will land in the UK at Biggin Hill Airport on Monday, the 22nd. The teen is looking, weather permitting, to return to his starting point in Bulgaria and complete his mission on the 24th. Over his 5-month trip, Mac headed from Bulgaria to Calgary in Sardinia, on to Africa, visiting Congo, Madagascar, and Mauritius. I don't know where that is.
No, I don't either.
Then he headed north to the United Arab Emirates, to India, China, South Korea, and Japan before flying to Alaska and continuing along the west coast of America to Mexico. Mac then flew north again along the east coast to Canada, crossing the Atlantic, and will now be stopping in Iceland before the UK. Throughout his trip, Mac has faced sandstorms in Sudan, Dubai's extreme heat, airport closures in India, and electrical failures in the system which pumps his reserve fuel to the aircraft's main tanks. Throughout his trip, Mac has faced that's a repeat there. I have been fortunate to have a family that has been able to help me progress in my flying, said Mac, who lives on the outskirts of Brussels. But no matter what background you have, I believe it is never too early to work toward your dreams, and you shouldn't limit yourself by others' expectations. Well done, sir.
That's awesome.
You can fly to Wisconsin, and then we'll definitely get you a Culver's burger.
Yeah, no kidding.
For sure.
No kidding.
Well done.
Wow.
Pretty
That's amazing, actually. 16-year-old kid flying around the world by himself.
Yeah.
Boy, his parents must have a lot of faith that he's going to be okay.
Or a lot of faith, period. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know. I mean, how much are we really in charge of when we check out, when we expire?
Right.
Really?
Right.
I mean, yeah, he's not going to be reckless, I'm sure, but live life.
Right.
You're only here for a short time.
So if he's flying solo around the world at 16, how long has he actually been flying?
Oh, good question.
Right? So
I'm going with 10.
I didn't think you could get your pilot's license until you were.
No, I don't think there's no
age
know you can
limit?
I know here you can get a pilot's license before you can get a driver's license.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy and brave parents. You're right, Michigan Daffodil.
Pretty cool.
All right, our next story is really cool.
It starts out sounding grim, but it's not.
No.
It's really not.
Right. A pair of Mississippi River salvage divers, not drivers, found a message in a bottle that was briefly brought back to life a dearly departed son who died more than 30 years ago. It was an ordinary salvage trip on the Yazoo River that brought a message from an 8th grader named Brian into the hands of Billy Mitchell and Brad Babb, a pair of shipyard workers at Vicksburg, Mississippi. Owing to their unique job, Mitchell is always on the lookout for interesting things, and the green bottle just happened to come close enough to allow the man to see inside. There was a note. With the help of shish kebab sticks, Mitchell and boss Brad Babb extracted the remains of the letter, sun-bleached and ripped, but still legible in places. It was written by a boy with the last name of Tall, or maybe Dahl, from Oxford, Mississippi. Mississippi or Missouri? No, that's Mississippi. Sorry, it just gives the last two letters. Anyway. And a date, 1989. We're all kids at heart, really. We could all envision ourselves as this 11-year-old boy, said Babb, safety manager at Big River Shipbuilders in Vicksburg, Mississippi. It really just fueled us to go and say, let's go find this guy, because this is kind of a kindred spirit where, would I want somebody to find me? Yes, I would. It became the talk of the office and scheming how to reunite the author with their letter. The crew decided to post it on Facebook, where it was then widely shared. Eric Dahl and his wife Melanie and son Chris got wind of the message, which saw them drive 200 miles to the shipyard to read a young Brian's letter, passing away at 29. Brian was a cyclist who beat cancer and then died in an accident at home. He was 11 years old when he wrote the letter as a part of a field trip that started by dropping the bottle into Mississippi Tallahatchie River. USA Today got in contact with Brian's teacher, who is now 82, and explained that one message was found in Louisiana, while Brian's floated 200 miles to the Yazoo River, where it entered a canal. Had it caught a different current, it would have landed in the Gulf of Mexico.
And that's something.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Wow. That would be really cool. So he was 11 when he wrote the letter, put it in a bottle. Then he grew up, passed away at 30.
Yep.
And then they found him.
Yep. They found his brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Gotta
that was
be honest.
really neat.
Uh-oh, looks like we're having some internet issues. Hopefully they fix themselves. Oh, there's green again.
There we go.
All right, here we go. This is an interesting story. I'll bet you many of you will figure it out, but save your answer, your guess, till the very end so you don't spoil the surprise for those who might not know the story. Okay? In 1775, a high-ranking officer of the Continental Army, despite heavy casualties among his troops, almost conquered Canada. The following year, commanding an inferior fleet, that same military genius battled the British to draw on Lake Champlain. And a year after that, at Saratoga, that same Revolutionary War hero, through sheer strategic brilliance, forced a stunning surrender of the Redcoat forces. Without the contribution of that extraordinary soldier in the first 3 years of the war, says respected historian George Newman, probably would have lost the revolution. The soldier's name, his Inaki Indian name, was Dark Eagle. And now you're going to hear the rest of the story. Dark Eagle had none of the white man's formal military training, but he was a natural warrior, and so precocious was he in the art of combat, quite early in his career as a colonial officer, George Washington emoted, "The merit of this gentleman is certainly great," and promptly offered him his own regiment. As news of his remarkable victories reached the home front, patriots competed to produce adequate superlatives. Many compared Dark Eagles to history's greatest military heroes. In a letter to Samuel Adams, James Warren called him a genius of the battlefield, without equal in modern times, likened his accomplishments to Hannibal's engagement. After engagement, Dark Eagle displayed his native cunning by avoiding traps laid by the most seasoned British generals. And yet, when facing his foe head-on, he personally demonstrated such reckless behavior that troops on both sides thought him a madman. At Saratoga, he galloped full speed into the enemy's midst, with his astonishing brigade barely able to keep up. Both he and his horse were shot, the latter fatally, and yet even then, as he lay pinned beneath his fallen steed, his leg crushed, muskets blazing all around him, Dark Eagle continued issuing orders to his men. As the war wore on, Dark Eagle grew disillusioned. Love of the ideals for which the colonists fought in hopes that his sons would one day remember his name with pride had driven him through 3 desperate years of battle. But frustration with Congress, which had chronically underestimated him and under-provisioned his troops, and our alliance with France, of which he had always disapproved, embittered him. Until, in a manner of speaking, Dark Eagle switched tribes. For once upon a revolution, there was an untrained soldier, a mere volunteer, who rose to the rank of general on merit alone, a warrior without whom our freedom may never have been won, and yet whose name was destined for dishonor. Because you see, Dark Eagle was the name given to him by the Inaki Indian tribe who accompanied him on his valiant march to Quebec. But Dark Eagle had an even darker name, one which he was born with, which before he died became synonymous with traitor. For you remember the military genius whom you believed was the finest general in the Continental Army. You remember him as stone-cold sellout named Benedict Arnold. Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Holy mackerel.
Man.
Well, it's time to switch gears for just a moment.
Just one
Brief moment.
Brief moment.
Let them know, peeps.
All right. Back to school sale is coming this week. For consultants, it's August 25th at 9 a.m. Mountain Time.
Thrive Life.
Sure. Thrive Life. But they can see it. That's why I didn't say it. So Thrive Life is having a back to school sale. So.
Love you, babe.
I know you do. And I love you. Start again. Thrive Life is having a back to school sale. There's some awesome deals, up to 50%. Some are, and then there's a bunch of them that are 20%. Some really good deals. They're bringing cranberries back. I can't wait to get cranberries.
Cranberries.
Love it.
Yep.
So for consultants, August 25th at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. If you have your delivery to automatically set to ship on that day, may want to change it to the next day and then ship it on that day. Like go and click ship now. That way you get the things you're wanting. If you're not a consultant it's August 26th through the 29th, but it does start again at 9 a.m. Mountain Time for everybody else. You don't have to be a delivery customer to participate in these deals. You get a better deal if you do, because you get free shipping if you spend over $100.
Or $100. Yeah, just right at.
Well, if it's a little over 100, if it's at $100, then you get free shipping. But, the amazing deals. You guys can see what's on there. You can see the prices if you want to pause the video and look at it. You can also go to the website. Actually, you won't be able to see the prices unless you are a consultant. So, yeah.
You're not going to want to miss out.
Nope. You don't want to miss out.
50% off, that's no joke.
No, it's not. And all of those things on that list, well, everything that Thrive Life does, they're delicious. I'll be honest. Yeah, the raspberries are great snacks, Scott. Actually, our grandson Elijah absolutely loves the blueberries and the raspberries and the apricots.
He liked everything he tried.
Yeah, he pretty much did. Yeah. So,
he did.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the stuff is finger-sized food.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
And it's crunchy.
Perfect for toddlers,
Yeah, they love it, just like that.
Yep.
So you're not going to want to miss out. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, back to the good news.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay.
This is a really cool
This
story.
is you, babe.
This is all me. This is historical. I love history stuff. So, Farmer Brown awakened one morning with an uneasy feeling, the sense that something was very wrong. The peculiar uneasiness, how about I read that correctly? The peculiar uneasiness continued through breakfast, completely unsubstantiated, until Farmer Brown opened his front door to inhale the most obnoxious odor he had ever encountered. It was wafting like death itself on a dawn breeze, and it hung heavily in the air all about him. Farmer Brown followed the foul smell into his fields, seeking its source by its mounting intensity. Imagine, then, his amazement to learn that the awful odor among his crops came from the crops themselves. Such a little while ago, they had been thriving, and here they are dead and decaying, emitting a strange and powerful scent that Farmer Brown for the rest of his life would never forget. And Farmer Brown was only one of a great many in the United States whose crops were suddenly mysteriously destroyed. You've never heard of him before, nor will you ever again, yet what happened to him and to millions like him. American farmers had never seen anything like this, a disease so hostile that within a season of its appearance, it had wiped out an entire crop. Agricultural scientists of today have a name for it. Phytophthora
Yeah.
infestans. I love science names. A devastating fungus. In those days, astonishing farmers simply called it the blight. When the blight struck, it only took days to reduce a perfectly healthy plant to a blackened, withered stalk. Its produce then promptly rotted on the ground. The rotting stench was said to have been intolerable. Every imaginable remedy was attempted, some semi-scientific, others pure folklore, and yet all of the prospective solutions had but one thing in common. None of them worked. Not one worked. Only one thing worse could have happened, and it did. The disease jumped its continental corral, and it spread overseas. Nobody ever knew the precise name of the ship on which it first stowed away. If somehow one day, among a cargo of produce, a voracious fungus left its American home and headed for Europe. The United States agricultural community, represented by a diversity of crops, was not seriously affected by the plague because the plague had plagued only one crop, though for several seasons. But across the great gray Atlantic lay a tiny country whose destiny was entirely dependent on that solitary crop's success. A country entirely dependent upon one crop. And now that crop was at risk. In fact, when the blight struck there, the result was a holocaust. The population was decimated and then some. The country was 8.5 million strong when the fungus arrived. Yet after only a few years, more than 1 million people had starved to death, and another 1.5 million had left their ravaged homeland forever. In school, you learned about something called the Irish potato famine of the 1840s, and how it led to a mass immigration of the Irish to the United States. But now you know where that potato famine really began.
Wow.
I had no idea.
A fungus just a fungus.
It's a fungus among us.
Well, you discovered the smell of the rotting potatoes earlier today.
That is, I'm not kidding, foul smell. It smells like death. So I know what that smell was. I mean, if you have a crop of that, I mean, we had 3 or 4.
Just small little potatoes.
That had gotten to the bottom of the basket. And you know, when they get to the bottom of the basket, they get left there. You forget about them. And it was, I seriously thought that there was a dead mouse in there or something.
Hey, Lost Mom Outdoors, they don't learn about the potato famine in Ireland anymore. Why?
I wonder
Why
why.
would you not want? Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. You guys know what that smell is.
oh, it's horrible.
It's awful.
All right, this next story comes from the UK. This is really cool. I honestly don't know how they will manipulate. No, how they'll institute this, how they'll make it work. But it's a cool idea in my mind. It's called a library of things. There, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. A library of things allows people to borrow stuff that they only need now and then. Blending a grassroots movement with technology, hundreds more are planning. Already 5,000 Londoners are in on it, borrowing anything from sound systems to sewing machines from a catalog of around 50 items. They are pioneers of the Library of Things, which helps people to save money and reduce waste by affordably renting out household items. They've collectively saved around 50 tons of waste from a landfill since it began. Following a successful crowdfunding campaign, the model will now be expanded from the existing 7 neighborhoods to 50 across England. The team of women-led social enterprise are optimistic that these 5,000 borrowers in London are the first of many. They raised almost £375,000 to expand, saying that the model is a valuable one at a time when 1 in 7 UK shops lie empty. Ouch. And the councils and communities are casting around looking for solutions. We see the Library of Things as an activator for the community hubs it inhabits, whether art venues, libraries, or reuse and repair shops, says co-founder Rebecca Trevelyan. We bring a service that brings diverse income and impact, helping local people to do projects affordably and learn practical skills while reducing waste.
Goodness. That's so
I
neat.
think it's a cool idea. Initially I thought it was like a library where you just like you rent a book but you're not renting the book, you just take it home.
Right.
But in the article it definitely said there would be a small fee involved.
Yeah, there's a small fee, and they've put them all in lockers.
Yeah.
So that you go and pay for it, and I think you pay for it when you bring it back, though.
I don't know. That's the question on how they would implement it. See, my question would be, what if you broke it?
Then you probably have to replace it.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
let's say that you rented a drill, because I'm looking at the picture there, and she's got a Bosch drill. And in the course of doing your project, you broke the drill and then you returned it. I mean, we wouldn't clearly do that, but there are people that would. I wonder how they figured that part of it out. I'm sure they have.
Is that one woman in the very back holding a firearm?
It's England, not
Over
possible.
here?
It's England, not
Yeah,
possible.
it's probably just some drill. It just looks like
Looks
one.
like a drill. So
oh
pretty
my
cool.
goodness, yeah.
Oh, Meg says our library did kind of this.
Cool.
Kids' toys and wall art can be checked out. That's neat.
Kel Rye says that they have that type of program at their local library. Tools, costumes, games, crafts, instruments. That's neat.
So I think that's great. I mean, because how many times have you needed one goofy little thing for a project you're working on?
You have to go buy
And it's
it.
like $25.
Right.
And you're going to use it one time and then it's going to sit in your, tool chest or whatever.
Yeah.
It's goofy. It's good. Good idea. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. All right, this next story is really hysterical.
It is
Actually,
hysterical.
This is
Yeah.
really funny. So, every summer, like youngsters from a Mark Twain adventure, Hank, Tom, and Harv would head up to the Alleghenies or the Adirondacks to breathe in the wilderness together. Oh, Tom was the one who was always getting lost. Tom was always misplacing himself. And Harv and Hank would tease him about it ceaselessly. But for some reason, maybe just for a good belly laugh once in a while, they always let Tom pick the campsite. They were in West Virginia this one year, somewhere between Lead Mine and Horseshoe Run in West Virginia. Oh, it said West Virginia. Okay. The sun had gone down. Tom said, "Let's pitch her right here." It was getting almost too dark to see, but he said, "Let's pitch right here." So they got the tents up and all, but now it's really dark. But they have a nice fire going. They're starting to have supper. Suddenly, they hear a bell clanging in the distance, and it's getting louder. They're out in the wilderness, and they're hearing a bell getting louder and louder. It sounds like a locomotive bell. For a place to grub up and bed down, Tom had chosen a spot just 3 tree trunks away from a railroad track. And here's the thing. They've camped next to a logging railroad. When the engine stops and it's spitting distance from their campfire. Who gets off? This logging train, but a load of lumberjacks. Just down the slope from a hard day's work. And I mean hungry lumberjacks. But just in time for dinner. And they're more than welcome. Just set out a few more plates. Hank and Tom and Harv were gone so long on these little mountain trips their wives sometimes wondered if the wolves had gotten them. But they always came back home again, laughing and carrying on, slapping one another on the back, and of course full of the stories that somehow managed to hold them until the next time. And we have something to show for the backwoods fellowship they shared. We have a whole new comparative standard for roughing it. You see, when Hank and Tom and Harv took off for their annual camping trip, they took with them a caravan of cars, including a Cadillac and several trucks to carry equipment and supplies, and a refrigerator, and large tents fitted with floors and screens and mattress beds and electric lights and a staff of servants and chefs and chauffeurs and even photographers. You see, these happy campers who dined in the wilderness on white linen with sterling silver, Hank and Tom and Harv, these 3 best buddies were Harvey Firestone and Thomas Edison and Henry Ford. I belly laughed when I read this story earlier. Yeah. Wow.
A caravan of cars, a refrigerator.
Right.
Their mattresses.
White linen and sterling silver and mattresses. And if they had TVs, they would have had TVs.
Well, they invented glamping. It's not camping, it's glamour camping.
Totally invented glamping. Yeah. That's
Isn't that
just
funny?
hysterical to me. Just so funny.
Yeah.
I only recognize Edison's in the middle. Who are which one's which?
Firestone is, I think, on the right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember what Ford looks like, so.
Yeah.
But that's funny.
So,
that's really funny.
All right, folks, last one. Excuse me. All right. This is interesting, too. Okay. True story. Between songs, you could almost hear the audience yawning and leaving. It was one of those show business disasters they talked about for years, the kind that marks the certain performer as poison, and so that it would be in the summer of 1969. Of course, as they say, it was not brain surgery. It was only a singing act to open up the International Hotel's new lounge, or whatever you call it, but it was a dud. I mean, the hotel could have spent a little more time and a little more money and come up with something a little more entertaining. But instead, they got plain Joan. To make the matters worse, she was proved a failure in town, so the hotel management could not claim that they were surprised. Only a half dozen years previous, Liberace had taken her on as his opening act at the Riviera.
Why?
The pianist manager was horrified. She is so plain, he kept saying, so boring. The audience won't want to hear anything after she's through in with him. Liberace's experienced associate was quite right, but maybe it was partly sympathy that caused the legendary showman to persist in defending plain old Joan. Whatever the cause, she opened for Liberace. And in the parlance of the industry, she died. No sets, no props. Her clothing was drab and ordinary. Her presentation was little more than a monotonous succession of songs. Applause was sparse, barely civil. By the time the flamboyant piano player arrived on stage, the audience was almost angry. And so was the hotel management. Get rid of her, they told Liberace. Your own career could go down with her. The latter offered a compromise. He would open his own show, he said, go out, do a peppy number, and then he would slip plain Joan into the lineup without anybody knowing it.
Oh my goodness.
Well, he tried that, but everybody knew it. Nobody loved it. It is the tried that everybody knew. He tried it and everybody knew it. Nobody loved it. Sorry. It was this deja vu that haunted the singer 6 years later when the International hired her for their grand opening. Not so grand in this case. Plain Joan's first song was I've Got Plenty of Nothing. It was not supposed to be a joke. It just turned out that way. And under her breath, Plain Joan uttered a vow that if she could possibly manage to get out of this alive, she would never, ever again sing a single tune in that town. Sometimes you just don't know where you belong and where you don't. And once upon a terrible time, a very good singer was stung by that awareness that no matter how long she lived, no matter how much she sang, there was then, and then there's forth, and one place on the planet that she would be utterly unwelcome. That place was Las Vegas. And that singer, plain old Joan, was Barbara Joan Streisand. And of course, you've heard about her success and how she went on to be a smash hit the very next year. And now you know the rest of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's
how
really funny.
About that.
Yeah.
I did not know that Liberace basically saved her career.
I didn't either.
Yeah, and whoever saw that coming? Liberace. Who would have ever... I never would have guessed.
No.
No. Straight as the day is long.
Right.
No.
Sure.
Liberace.
Sure. Yeah.
If you're rocking candelabras on your piano, there's something that says flamboyant. Jazz hands.
Jazz hands. Yeah. Yowza.
Yowza's right.
You know, it's funny. I grew up, my mom loved Barbara Streisand. We watched every single one of her movies. We had every one of her albums and listened to them nonstop.
Her politics
cannot
chafe.
listen to her in any capacity
Her politics chafe.
No.
They chafe.
No, can't do it. No.
And I actually touched her Rolls Royce one time.
Did you scratch it with your keys?
I did not.
Why
that
not?
Would be illegal and immoral.
Yeah, you're right. It would be.
I was at a recording studio in Miami called, I think it was called the Hit Factory. It was a big recording studio. And she was there recording. Mm-hmm. And her Rolls Royce was out front. And I just went, that's Barbara Streisand's Rolls Royce. Touch. Touch.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Hello, Dolly. Okay, so one quick recap, Mom, here.
Mm-hmm.
Recap.
So Thrive Life is having a back-to-school sale this coming week. Don't miss out because there's some awesome deals right now. And I'm gonna buy all the cranberries, so
We're gonna get 'em.
don't even try to
Don't even
buy
bother.
them. I'm buying them all. So, yeah, no, I'm not really. I could never afford that. We could never afford that.
August 26th through 29th.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Starting at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So,
Cool.
don't. Did you set up the car alarm?
No, this was in an enclosed like area where rich people have, walls, and so they didn't
Razor wire.
They didn't really bother putting a car alarm on a Rolls Royce. They had people to watch it.
Right. Right. The driver, I'm sure, was there.
So anyway, last thing, we do a Bible study Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central on a channel called Big Family Devotions.
Yep.
Not Big Family Homestead, but Big Family Devotions. And we're starting a new book tomorrow. So it would be an excellent time for you to come and check it out. We read scripture, pray for each other, we unpack it. There's no arguing. It's just what is in the Word.
There's no debate on denomination.
We don't fight about stuff like that. No.
Nope.
So it's a great way to start your day. Come on over. It'll be good to have you.
Yep.
So that said, we're going to say a quick prayer and play you a tune here. So here we go. Father God, thank you so much for each and every one of these people here. We are so grateful that they've come and hung out. And I would ask that you just love on them, give them a big old hug, and let them know you'll never leave them, you'll never forsake them, and that you love them more than they'll ever know. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, have a blessed night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Blessed is the one who finds wisdom, and the one who gets understanding. For the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit is better than gold. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? The fear of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. The fear of the Lord is understanding.